Hello and welcome to another episode of the Seamus Evans Show. Today, I want to share my thoughts on Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and how BJJ has taught me about life and business. For the past almost year, I have been getting my ass kicked. Like, for a year. Almost. I think I started in November last year. November, December. Yeah, November last year I started doing jiu-jitsu. Since then, all that I've been doing is just getting beaten up. And I mean being put into positions where you think you can't handle anymore. When it comes to martial arts, there's learning how to strike, there's learning how to kick, defend, getting fit, whatever. With jiu-jitsu, you are put into these positions and literally oxygen is being squeezed out and blood is being stopped from reaching your brain. You literally think you're going to die. You've never been put in this position before. It is so scary, but I've been copping it for over a year. Now, my whole life, I wanted to do martial arts. When I was younger, I would watch Jackie Chan and I'd watch The Three Ninjas and I'd watch these movies and be like, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Man, I wanted to do karate or taekwondo or something. My mum never let me because she's like, no, violence is bad. No violence. Violence, no. No good for violence. Punching, no. Little did she know that the discipline required in these dojos, that is taught in these dojos, in these martial art gyms, and the respect that is instilled in these individuals when it comes to hand-to-hand combat and how to avoid it, and understanding that you are a weapon, you are valuable, you are honorable, like the values that it instills in these individuals, especially when they're kids like me who are highly mischievous, couldn't sit still, couldn't focus, disengaged, rebellious. That really aligns with kids like me and teaching myself discipline. Anyway, we're not on my psychologist's couch, and so I won't bring up the childhood frustrations from my mother. My mum is amazing, by the way. She is an absolute angel in human form. I love my mum, and she did the right thing, and she was a great, great parent. She is a great parent and a great grandparent. But I'd always wanted to do it, and at 34, I started doing it. Now I'm 35. So I'm absolutely obsessed, like addicted, to the point where I have to stop myself from going to training because I'm like, Seamus, you have a life, you have a business, you have a child, you've got a mortgage, you've got things that need your attention. Getting beaten up by other men and getting strangled and having their sweat in your face, woo up on how much you're doing this because outside life requires you. But I can't help it. I am so obsessed with it and I absolutely love it. And I will be going there in 3 hours. I can't wait. Anyway, here are the 5 things that doing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and getting my ass kicked has taught me about business and about life. Number 1 is to calm down. Calm down. Pull back. Chuck it down a notch. When you're in a difficult phase in your life, when you feel like you're under pressure, when you are literally being beaten up on the mats, when you put yourself in a heightened state where your adrenaline is running high, where you are feeling threatened, you don't act correctly. When you see police officers or military people or even skilled fighters, in those heightened moments of threat or confrontation, their ability to remain calm so they can assess the situation and react properly, it always looks effortless. And when you watch a skilled fighter, it looks effortless and they look like they're actually quite calm. It's probably because exposure therapy, they've been exposed to that heightened level of combat, heightened level of anger, aggression, and high exertion of energy, that they're able to stay calm. Because when you're calm, you make the right decisions. When you're not calm, you make the wrong decisions. So literally, someone will be on top of me and I'll be in side control. Someone's in my side control or whatever you want to say, or someone's on mount on me or whatever. You enter into panic mode. Someone's choking you. You start panicking. And instead of thinking, hang on a second, what have I learnt? Put my foot here, grab their wrist here, do this, turn that way. Oh, look, I'm out of that choke. But when you're in panic mode and you're not calm, you don't remember that. You don't remember the steps. You don't go back to the training. You just act primitively and you just act like you're surviving. This is the wrong act. So when life has gotten you down and when you are literally up against it in every element of your life, if you are in the heightened state, you're unable to accurately judge and assess those situations and your next move. Learning how to stay calm, learning how to relax, learning how to sit in the moment, breathe, pace yourself, you can actually make a more informed, educated, and calculated decision. That's one of the huge things. Also, even when I get into a dominant position, and so this is the same as with life or business. When you're in a winning position, life is going great. Business is going great. Families are going great. Your friendship, whatever. You're killing it. Life is all about ups and downs. Sometimes you're winning, sometimes you're losing. That's how it goes. You can get overexcited. You need to learn how to calm down. You need to appreciate where you're at, and you need to understand that if you make the wrong move in this heightened moment of euphoria, you're going to ruin it. And when I'm in a dominant position in jiu-jitsu, I've noticed it. I get so excited that I'm winning. I get so excited that I've got my opponent and I'm controlling them and I'm winning the role that I make a mistake because I don't calm down and I don't think about what the right next move that I've learned is. So number one is calm down in all of your states. Take a breather. Number two, attack, attack, attack. Always be on the offense. The best defense is offense. Now, there are ways in jiu-jitsu to learn actually how to defend. That's a defensive move. But what my coach said recently was, even when you're defending, you should be looking to attacking. You should be looking for the move to pull them into your guard. You should be looking to advance your position. Wherever you are in life, always advance your position. Whether you've lost a job, whether you've come out of a relationship, whether you have been kicked out of your house by a landlord, every single time your car breaks down, whatever it is, and you feel you're on the fence, you feel you're on the ropes, you feel like you're defending, always try and find a way to attack and advance your position. Move up, level up, move forward. Even if it's a millimeter at a time, still move forward. If you're always defending, if you're always on the offense, if you're always protecting yourself, you're playing the other person's game. But when you're in the attack, eventually you get through. You might have to punch through some walls, metaphorically speaking. You might have to, it's going to be hard, like hitting a hammer against a wall. But if you're constantly attacking, eventually you'll get through that wall. And I've learned this when it comes to life. When you lose something, when something doesn't go your way, shifting your mindset as to how can I leverage this to advance my position forward? How can I gain from this? How can I, whether it's a lesson, whatever it is, always having this mindset of step forward. Sometimes you need to step to the side to step forward, but move forward, attack, 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 attack. Because eventually you get like a little terrier. They eventually tire out the other dog, right? Always moving forward, yapping, biting, barking. And if you do that in life, you get somewhere. That's what I've learned. You keep attacking, you bloody get somewhere. Always attack. Number 3, time is your best friend. Time, all good things take time. Everything in life is time. Sometimes time feels forever away. A certain time frame will feel like an entirety. But you can use time to your advantage. All good things take time. Sitting in that time that it takes is a learning process. Understanding that in order to achieve greatness, in order to accomplish something, it's a time game. So appreciate the time that passes by engaging, attacking, calming down, moving forward, and take the pressure off. Instead of wishing it now, understand it's not now, it's in a while away. And that actually brings me to my next point, number 4, is living in the now. See, I was thinking about this not too long ago where I was sitting on my couch and I had a really big week ahead. And that, that daunting feeling, it's like a Sunday afternoon and you realize it's only a few more hours and then I got to go to bed, which means I've got to get up early and bang, I'm flying off to the airport, on the first flight at 5 a.m. out of here. And then I got to travel. And then I got that massive week ahead. And geez, I won't be able to be on this couch again and be relaxed like this for 7 days. And that daunting feeling of something so big ahead of you. Then the week goes by and you're back on the couch and you almost time travel. And you're back there and you're like, whew, that was a big week. But in that moment of being present and understanding that you're sitting on the couch relaxing, nothing's changed. You're still who you are. You feel the same. Being present is really important. I know I kind of just got a little sidetracked there and a little philosophical, but what the message I'm trying to convey is when you're present in the journey, the time goes quick. As long as you're not wishing that time away, as long as you're not wishing it past or wishing it forward, you're able to sit in it. You're able to smell the roses, so to speak. You're able to actually focus, calm down. You're able to understand why you're at that phase, why you're at that part of the journey. Being present is your best timekeeper because when you're present, there is no time. Wow! That's deep. When you're present, there is no time. I love that, man. That should be a bumper sticker. I love that. But when you are present, time evaporates. So understanding that good things take time. So be present the whole way. You're actually able to enjoy the process, which brings me to my final point. Number 5, the journey is the best part. I was thinking about this when it came to jiu-jitsu. So the best belt is a black belt. Oh, there's like a red belt, but no one has that. You start white, it goes white, blue, purple, brown, black, right? And a red and a coral and blah, 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 blah. Irrelevant. See, people say it takes 10 years to get a black belt. That's if you're training around 3 times a week. See, I can go to a shop and buy a black belt today. I can buy it and I can wear it. And I can turn up to training and I can have a black belt today. But I haven't earned it. By earning it means it's not the actual belt itself, it's what it represents. In the past year, almost year that I've been doing jiu-jitsu, that ass kicking I've got, the sweat that I've sweated, the blood that I've bled, the pain that I've felt, the lessons that I've learned. I've only got 2 stripes on my white belt. Like I am such an amateur. I am so at the beginning of this journey. I am so horrible at Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. But even those 2 stripes, I've earned them. And they represent the hard times that I've been through. They represent what I've experienced. You can get to the destination very fast. And I'm going to go really philosophical and deep now. In life, the end destination is death. We all die. That is the end destination, okay? Life is the journey. We all know the ending. We all know how it's going to end. Ain't no twist coming, okay? We all die. The journey of life is the best part. Rushing through life is horrible. Appreciating the journey and finding ways to enjoy the journey, that's the secret. That's the art. So to relate it back to jiu-jitsu, turning up every day and trying to work on one technique or trying to get a little bit better at one little move, knowing that it's a 10-year journey. I've got another almost not longer than 9 years ahead of me of getting beaten up, in pain, probably injured, exhausted, like you name it, sweating, bleeding, swearing, whatever. I know that journey's ahead of me. So every single training session, trying to enjoy one little element, challenging myself, feeling good about myself, turning up, Little tick, little reward, crossing something off. Every single week it's on my to-do list. Turn up minimum twice. So throughout this journey, I'm winning. I have won because I turned up. Just the same with life. And this is why I started doing jiu-jitsu, because my life was so obsessive with work. That's all I focused on. That's all I cared about. I didn't have a social life. I didn't have a hobby. I didn't have anything. So I didn't enjoy my life outside of work, and it became my identity, so to speak. And this is not a great way to live. If something happens and you lose that identity, then your whole world crumbles. Your ego takes a big knock. So I decided to pursue a hobby, and this was jiu-jitsu. And what that means is, because I'm enjoying my daily activities by turning up to training and my hobby, I'm actually enjoying the long business journey ahead of me as well. Because every single day, although I'm met with setbacks in work and setbacks in life and in business, I'm enjoying the journey because I get to do something I like. This notion of creating the journey as an enjoyable experience, that's better than the end destination. It's so much better when you've earned something, when you deserve it because of your hard work. That's where the relief comes from. That's where that sense of achievement, that sense of belonging, that's where you get the enriched feeling because you sweated your ass off for it. Black belt means nothing. Anyone can own a black belt. Earning it means everything because you sweated for it, you bled for it, you broke for it, you stuck it out. One of the interesting things that I've learned so far about jiu-jitsu, because I listen to a lot of stuff and I watch videos, blah, 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 like every other freak who's obsessed with it. When you start out, there's a class of people, a group of people that you start with. And as you persist and continue turning up with your consistent training, that class, that group, that cast of people, some drop off and new ones appear. And I remember watching a video or an interview on a podcast where someone said, when you get to your black belt, the people next to you weren't there when you started. It's just who's in it for longer. And that's the same with success. That's the same with business. That's the same with life. If you are consistent, eventually everyone else drops off because people lack discipline. They lack the ability to keep showing up. And if all you need to do is show up, that's really easy. You just keep showing up. But for some reason, we don't. We come up with excuses. We come up with reasons. We fall into a victim. We fall into blame, whatever it might be. If you just keep showing up, you get there. So every time you show up, give yourself a pat on the back, because that's enjoying the journey. Reward yourself every single time. It's those small little things in life that are so important to the bigger picture. Since I've started doing jiu-jitsu, I am 10 times happier. I mean, there are other elements of my life. For example, I don't drink anymore. I also go to the gym. I also eat really well. But doing jiu-jitsu was a catalyst for all of it. Because I want to get better at it, I started cleaning up other areas of my life so I could be better at my hobby and my passion and my interest. I speak to a lot of business owners and I ask them, what's the biggest challenge that you've got in your industry or in your business? And overwhelmingly, it's the same two answers. Number one is cash flow. Okay. So ups and downs. People win, people lose. That's the game. But you're in it long enough, you're going to win. Number two is staff. Finding hard workers. Finding people who are willing to show up with a smile, well-dressed, and put the work in. Are you joking me? That's hard. If you're watching this right now and you're worried about how you're going to get ahead and be successful, just show up. Put a smile on your face, present well, roll up your sleeves, and get into some work. Work hard. Outwork your competition. Here in Australia, that's not very difficult to do. Overwhelmingly, businesses across whoever I speak to who are business owners, they all say Australians are lazy. They are lazy. They want more money and to work less. Yes, that sounds like the dream, but forget it. That is not how Australia was built. It was built on hard-working people with back-breaking labor. They worked their butt off. They built the buildings. They built the bridges. They worked long hours. They didn't complain. They pushed on. They turned up. They showed up. They were consistent. That's how you do it. Show up every day. Find a way to that actually puts a smile on your face. Not a fake smile. Find something that puts a smile on your face every day and bring that along with you on your journey of showing up. Don't be scared to roll up your sleeves and actually get stuck into some hard work. If you do that, you will be successful. And time is your best friend. No one appreciates someone who shot up instantly and is an overnight success. In fact, poppy syndrome brings them down. People very much value wisdom and experience. I went to an event recently where there were 3 panel members sitting on, and it was a financial event talking about wealth creation and building wealth and business and blah, 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 blah. When it came Q&A, there were 3 people on the board. 2 of them were younger. By younger, I mean my age. Okay, I'm 35. And the third one, he was probably 60. When it came to question time, no one asked the other 2 questions. It was all the old guy. Because the old guy had been through multiple recessions. He'd lost houses, he'd bought houses. He'd lost businesses, been made redundant, you name it. He's been put through the ringer and he's still standing. So everybody valued his experience, not his knowledge, but his experiences. Now, the other 2 had a lot of knowledge about finance. A financial planner and a stockbroker. And I bet you they're very good at what they do. But I observed that no one wanted their opinion because they hadn't experienced as much as the old guy. So time is a blessing. It is a blessing. And it's only a curse when you view it as a curse. Time rewards you. Time heals all. Time gives all. Time also takes away things. But changing the way you view time, man, you can really use it to your advantage. The problem is we want things now. I want it now. I want it now. It doesn't work like that. If you get it now, you lose it quicker than you got it. It's like when people win the lottery. They make $8 million in a lottery. Bang! 4 years later, they're bankrupt and they're horribly depressed and wish they never won. They lose all their friends and they lose all their money. If you don't know how to earn it, you can't keep it. And I mean that by going back to the black belt in jiu-jitsu. If you don't know how to earn that black belt, someone else can take it off you because you don't know how to roll. You don't know jiu-jitsu. You just bought a black belt. And there are so many times in people's lives where we want the fast track, we want the shortcut, we want the cheat code. Doesn't work like that. Doesn't work like that. You can get the cheat code, but it means nothing. And I'll finish with this. I've always had this philosophical outlook on life. It's morbid, but actually really amazing. Like I said earlier, we all know the end destination of our lives, death. We've got roughly 80 years. 80 years on this earth, okay? That's your 80 years. Now, it seems like a long time if you're young. If you look at the larger picture of the timeline of people on earth, currently there's around 14 billion people on earth, okay? They've all got their 80 years. Then, 80 years before that, there was other billions. Now, imagine every person who's ever lived on this earth. It's trillions and trillions and trillions and trillions of people who have had their 80 years on this earth. Now, if you scale all the way back, stand all the way back and look at it outside, your tiny little 80 years, your little 80 years is such a tiny little drop in the ocean. Your 80 years is so insignificant to the larger picture on planet Earth that it means nothing. Now, I know that's morbid, but here's the next part. That means that 80 years is yours. It's all yours. It is a gift. It belongs to you. That 80 years that you have on this earth is all yours. You can do with it whatever you want. Whatever you want. It's yours. Now, with that, you can have an incredible 80 years or a miserable 80 years, but it's yours. You can do with as you please. When I had that realization and epiphany, I was in Adelaide. I was living in Adelaide and I was working for Network 10 as a reporter on a television show. And I would walk a lot because I didn't have many friends down there. So I'd do a lot of walking and thinking and just being on my own. And I came up with that notion and I was like, wow. Once I saw that 80 years as an absolute gift. No one else has my 80 years. This is mine, and I get to spend it however I want. It's my choice. How will I live it out? Very deep. We've gone down a bit of a rabbit hole of philosophy. But those are the 5 things that doing jiu-jitsu, Brazilian jiu-jitsu, has taught me about life and about business. If you have just started your BJJ journey, I'd love to hear from you in the comments. I'd love to know what it's taught you off the mats. I'd love to know what philosophical epiphany you've had from getting your ass absolutely handed to. It's literally like you're a piece of paper and a 14-year-old Asian girl is doing origami on you. I believe origami is Japanese. Well, jiu-jitsu was actually Japanese, and then the Brazilians took it. Literally, imagine you're the piece of paper. That's what it feels like when you're doing jiu-jitsu, man. Anyway, teaches you a lot, and I love it. And in just under 2 hours, I'm going to go get origamied. Thank you so much for listening.